I remember that slap clearly because I think that the first couple times you didn't want to give it your all, and I think I just told you, like, do it. It will be hilarious.
I felt terrible. I didn't want to slap you across the face.
But the one that they used was the real one, and it was like, it was so perfect and hard that I think it actually hurt less because the spot was just right on. I'm like, wow, yeah, that was great. That was great.
I'm Lauren Collins, and I played Paige Michaelchuk on Degrassi.
And I'm Shane Kippel, and I played Gavin Spinner Mason on Degrassi, The Next Generation.
Last night, I asked my mom what my culture was. She pointed to the globe, said it was from Earth.
It's good to know. I had my doubts.
Oh,
So Spinner came on, was like this spiked hair, ear pierced, like bully, like, you know, assuming guy, just sort of brooding. But then in between, season one off season, I lost a lot of weight. But then suddenly they're like, this guy doesn't look intimidating anymore. He doesn't look like a bully. He doesn't look like anyone would be scared of him. So he's the guy that is. He acts before he thinks, and even when he thinks, it wasn't too, you know, it didn't run that deep, and he always landed himself in hot water and made a bunch of mistakes that I think by the end he learned from, but you always knew it was coming from a good place. It was a little slower on the uptake.
We're never alone, okay? You make me feel like some kind of leopard.
Leper. The word is leper.
Yeah, I think similar to Shane, Paige also went on a huge transformation. So Paige started out as your total classic mean girl, queen bee, you know, cutting everyone down, head of the cheerleading squad, or the spirit squad as we called it, and, you know, stealing boyfriends, getting her friends drunk, just very, very typical mean girl stuff. And in the second season, her first big storyline was the date rape storyline, and that really affected the trajectory of my character. I think she just grew up really fast.
Sweetie, I would love to indulge your need to ruin my party with a full-on cat fight, but I'll pass. Save the drama for high school, hun. I'm moving on.
Did I have favorite parts of playing Spinner? Well, the fun thing about playing a character that was always getting into, you know, bad situations is that you kind of like had an avatar of yourself to throw out into the world and like test dumb ideas that you might have. But it was so fun to be able to play that, knowing that that was the polar opposite to how I would react in any sort of situation.
Yeah, I was always the victim of the mean girls. So in my real life, so, you know, to kind of live out that dream and take out that aggression as Paige was always really, really fun for me. And then I think on a kind of superficial note, I hated it at the time. The stuff that I used to have to wear as Paige, I was always so uncomfortable in most of the clothes that I was wearing, being like, you know, going through puberty and having to like bare my stomach and legs and whatever. But now that I can see people see Paige as this like fashion icon of the early 2000s, I'm like, yeah, that's right. I'll totally, I'll take some credit for that.
Paige? New year, new look, new Paige.
A personal favorite episode was when we were doing Ghost in the Machine. We weren't in our studio setting, we were on location. It just felt, I don't know, it felt like we were doing something a little bit bigger with that episode.
We also, in that episode, that was the first time I had gotten my license not too long before that, and I actually got to drive on camera. So there were a lot of scenes of us driving through the city.
Wicked day. Okay.
I always loved when sometimes we would get to do a night shoot. And that's when things would get really fun because we would all kind of get a little bit loopy. So whenever we shot like a school dance, those usually took place at night, we'd always have a lot of fun. Those are some of my best memories. Like I remember the Bollywood dance. That was a really, really fun night. We were all like, there were so many people on set. We were all just hanging out in our dressing rooms at like 2 a.m, totally like overtired and loopy, and probably drinking lots of like, I don't know, sugar drinks to keep us awake. So those were always really fun.
You lied to me.
Don't touch me. Don't ever touch me.
Why not? Everybody else does.
The slap comes to mind,
Oh,
Shane.
Yeah.
When I actually slapped Shane across the face in the scene. I know Spinner's time on the show went beyond Paige, and you had many significant relationships. But for me, obviously I'm biased, Paige and Spinner always going to be the one true love there.
There's nothing quite like the first love, as they say, right? Right. There are others when you look back and you're like, you know what, that wasn't really love. That was just like passion and lust, and this makes a lot more sense. But the heart wants what the heart wants, you know?
100,000 on my head is disrespect. So offended that I had to double check. You trying to check?
I got a call, and it was our friend Ian. And then he tells me that, okay, I just heard from Drake's team that he wants to do a music video as a Degrassi reunion, and they need to know, like, first and foremost, if you could be available, because it's going to be Jimmy and Spinner crashing their high school reunion. Yeah, yeah, we'll go ahead with it. But it was so much fun. Like everything that you saw, all the smiles and the energy on camera was. None of that was acting. That was really our high school reunion. It was, many of us hadn't seen each other in over 10 years, and there would not have ever been a time that all of us were on set together anyway.
Yeah, it was so much fun. It was like going back to your high school, but with no teachers, no parents, no rules. It was so much fun, and just such a great way. Like there were literally people there I hadn't seen in 15 years. And it was kind of just like right back into the groove. It was really fun. I mean, I think, the longer we were on the show, yes, it started to become, more real to us, the impact that we were having as we would, this is before Twitter, this is before Instagram. We didn't have the social media outreach that people on TV shows have now. So it was like being out and meeting fans and doing, press stuff, mall tours. That's when it really started to click in for me, the real impact and reach that the show had. And it's unbelievable to see now the legacy that has been carried on of the show. How many people have gone back to revisit it during the pandemic? I think it was just very nostalgic for a lot of people.
It meant so much to people that the more time that passes, it puts it all in perspective. That's what a special time and a special show, and the cast, like everything about it was just a perfect storm of something that will live on through history. I mean, we're part of the most successful television franchise to ever come out of Canada. And it really is an honor to have been a part of it. And not to repeat myself again, but the more time that passes, the more you understand really what you were a part of.
Yeah.